This is spin. No, Dad, which way does this spin?
Right, left up.
Left to go. What are you doing, bro?
I'm pulling the other way. We apologize for the technical difficulties here we're facing. It seems that Tyler cannot
Hold
get
this
the
way.
seat
We'll try this way.
because Tyler's posture is not phenomenal. He needs to have the seat higher than the usual tabletop host. Liam Vega, when he was here, was a lot easier. But here we are. We're ready. Hello, and welcome to this episode of Table Talk Sports. Our first subject will be the FIFA World Cup in Qatar. Logan, over to you in the field.
Well, Argentina just took a 3-0 win over.
We're doing the quarterfinals first.
Oh, going to the quarterfinals.
Oh my.
We can talk
Table
about
Talk's facing a little adversity here, but we'll pull through.
All right, bud. All right, chill, bud. Chill. I'll start off with Ronaldo because, sad to hear, but Morocco moved on 1-0. Can't forget the nil. You want to talk about the other games, Tyler?
Okay.
Sure.
So I watched the whole Croatia versus Brazil game, and it was pretty boring for the first 90 minutes basically. And then once they got to extra time, it started to heat up a little bit. Brazil scored. Neymar had a nice goal, and then in the dying embers of the game, Croatia responds back, and they go to penalties, and then from there on it's anyone's game, and we saw that, and Croatia won, and Brazil was a pretty big favorite, so
Yeah.
it's tough to see.
In my school, we were watching it during lunch. Brazil scored. There was a few cheers. It zoomed in on Messi, and the place erupted.
Oh my.
You mean Neymar?
We're talking.
You said Messi.
I said Messi?
Yeah.
That was two.
That's
wait,
and then Neymar.
Wait.
It was a.
Also, I don't get like that game. You put Neymar to kick fifth in penalties, but then you see what happens. You didn't even get a chance to kick. That's all I'm saying.
Like I saw Argentina use Messi first in theirs.
When Croatia scored, there were a lot more cheers though, because we got a huge Croatian.
It was
population.
absolutely world class.
It's Croatian nation.
Croatian nation in the East Brunswick High School. So, what do you think about that missed penalty at the end there off the post?
From who?
Marquinhos.
Oh, yeah. How do you choke that bad? You got the whole country on your shoulders. You remember what happened in 2014 and they lost 7-1, and then in 2018 they disappointed, and then you come back and you're the heavy favorites, and then you're supposed to be one of the best players on your team. Marquinhos is one of the best players in Brazil, and then you miss the game. One of the most important pens that you'll ever take in your life.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard people get killed over that stuff. Maxim Andreev, soccer enthusiast, told me that people have been shot in Ecuador.
Talking about missed penalties, we can go over to Harry Kane.
All right.
Skies it. Usually picks a spot where he wants to kick it and kicks it straight there.
He picked a fan.
He picked the fan.
Unfortunately, my lord.
Nah, I mean, to be honest, England played a lot better than France that game. But in the end, if you play better, it doesn't really mean anything if you lose. And let's go England. England's gone.
I mean, I'm pretty upset about that whole England thing. I was kind of rooting for them after America was eliminated. Thanks.
Yeah,
I mean, super unfortunate game. Overall, I mean, Harry Kane obviously missed the kick, but you can't blame it all on Harry Kane.
Yeah,
a lot of fouls, especially on Saka, weren't called.
Yeah,
close to the box.
But they got a bright future.
Yeah,
Bellingham.
They have a
Saka,
lot of youngsters.
Yeah.
I think America has a brighter future, though.
I don't know. They got a lot of great youngsters, but
they have the LeBron James of soccer.
They don't have LeBron James of soccer. They do not. So.
They don't.
All right.
They also don't have Tyler Adams.
Let's go to semifinal.
Last quarterfinal.
Oh, yeah, that game.
The Netherlands.
That was a crazy game, bro.
Insane.
Argentina almost choked.
That one dude on Netherlands. It was on Netherlands.
I don't know how
Brady
didn't get a red card.
Yeah, bro. He slide tackled one dude,
slide.
and then he got another slide tackle. That should have been a red. And then he kicked the ball at the bench, and then it was just a whole brawl.
That was a great hit right there. That's a linebacker hit right there.
Yeah.
I see some Fred Warner.
And then
I don't know.
And at the end of the game, literally, it was like 10 minutes of added time. 10 minutes of added time, and it's 2-1, and it's a free kick, literally the last kick of the game, and then they scored. And that tall dude.
Dude, they're all.
That was crazy.
I was looking at the comparison of like every player, and the first thing I said was like, "Oh my god, the Netherlands defensemen and their goalie are massive. They have these huge like arm lengths or whatever. They're just lanky as hell, bro. They're like, bro, the guy looked like he was 6'8", standing next to Messi. I mean, Messi's he's like 5'7", but.
Yeah.
To wrap up the World Cup segment, we'll go into the semifinal matchups. I mean, Argentina just beat Croatia 3-0. How do you feel about that? Alvarez with 2 goals, Messi with a penalty.
I mean, I saw the Messi goal. I didn't really watch the rest of the game. I thought it was. I mean,
Oh, Messi had
It's
a beautiful assist.
it's Argentina. It's kind of what you expect. Croatia is a great team, though. Always, last year obviously they made it to the finals. This year,
Last year.
or
Last-
not last year. Last time.
Yeah.
Correction. Yeah. So-
Yeah, I mean, Croatia is just always like a pretty stingy country, and I kind of wanted to see them get to the finals, but yeah, I want to see them win the final, but it's kind of disappointing.
Sadly, Luka Modric's career
Yeah.
is over.
3-0. The problem with the way they played was like against Brazil, they played really defensive. This game, when they went down early because of the penalty, they had to play really offensive. That left their defense open.
Another interesting matchup: France-Morocco. Morocco hasn't conceded a goal yet.
Love Morocco.
Big
I want them to
underdog.
I want them to win.
I wanted them to win, so I saw that little girl on my For You page. I am full support of Mbappe now.
Yeah, I think France is gonna win. They haven't played a team like France yet offensively, and if they go down 1 or 2, then they don't have the offensive assets to come back. So I think we'll have France versus Argentina in the final.
But they
Yeah,
won't go
I
down
would
1 or
say
2.
that. And that'll be
They won't go down 1 or 2.
Morocco's a good underdog story, but like France and Argentina would be a very entertaining game.
And then
so.
that's gonna be a rematch of 2018 round of 16, and France won 4-3, and Mbappe had 2
And that was
goals
a
on
really good
Messi's
game.
head.
Yeah.
So we'll see. What do you want to go to now?
I guess we'll go to the NFL. We'll go to the NFC playoff race.
Oh yeah, the NFC playoff race is heating up heavy. The Giants are the 7th seed, clinging on by a thread. The Lions are very hot right now.
They're running the table.
The Seahawks
Packers
are
gonna run
the
table.
Seahawks are like 1 game out, so it's all really close. The Giants really need to win this game against Washington because they need to take advantage of these Seahawks next 2 games. The Seahawks play the Niners and they play the Chiefs the next 2 games, which I don't see them winning either of those games. And then the Lions have a very clear path to 10-7. They play the Jets. They play.
I know they play the Packers again in
yeah.
Lambeau though.
Yeah, no, the Lions. They don't. I feel like there's no defense that can stop their offense right now. They play the Jets, winnable game. Panthers, winnable game. Bears, winnable game. And Packers, winnable game.
I feel like whoever wins the Washington Giants game is going to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Whoever doesn't is going to be close out. I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, I think if anything happens, if the Giants lose this game, it'll be Washington at 6, Dallas at 5, and Detroit at 7. Because I don't see the Seahawks getting in now.
Yeah, I mean, last year Giants go 6-10. Kind of, a lot of Giants fans were extremely pissed off over not making the playoffs and the whole Eagles throwing at the
That
end of the
was 2
season.
years ago.
Or 2 years ago, my bad. But I think this year I definitely respect them more. Definitely think they're going to make it.
Especially with all the injuries they've had.
Oh,
They
yeah.
played phenomenal for that. Something I want to touch up. Something I want to touch up on the Seahawks is ever since Kenneth Walker went down, their running game has been pretty much abysmal. I mean, I think they had like 30 yards the past 2 games. Really limited Geno Smith trying to make him do it all. So I don't think they're going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, you want to go to the AFC?
Sure.
AFC race is also pretty interesting. I don't think the Patriots are going to be able. I don't know how the I had the Patriots winning like 5 games coming into the season, but they just impressed like always. But I don't see them getting this last spot. You got the Chargers,
The Chargers stick out
and
to
the
me.
Jets. The Chargers, very winnable last 4 games also.
Yeah, if Herbert plays his stuff, then they're going to make the playoffs.
You got the
If he
Titans.
plays Herbert level.
Yeah, the Titans are not.
They're
as
looking
good as their record
shaky.
says.
I mean, last didn't they just lost to the
Yeah,
Jaguars?
they lost to the Jags.
Yeah.
They got the Colts, another winnable game. Rams, winnable game. And Denver, winnable game. So you could see them
I
going
can
a
see them
4-game
winning.
streak
If
to end the
they-
season.
if that's what they got to do to make the playoffs.
Yeah. And you got the Jets. The Jets,
The offense needs to step up.
they have 3 winnable games. My fault, guys.
No, again.
I apologize. No, but they got 3 winnable games. They got the Lions this week, which should be a really good game. Then they got the Jags. The Jags are pretty good, though. And they got Seattle. And to finish the season off, they got Miami in Miami. So what do you feel?
I
about
just
that?
think if their offense scores like 20 points a game, I think they'll make the playoffs. They just have to do that. Their defense has been phenomenal. Even when their offense has been terrible, their defense is making stop after stop.
I feel like the Patriots, even though they've been like pretty good, they got a pretty tough road out. They got the Raiders this week, which I mean they could probably win that game against the Raiders.
Yeah, their defense
It's up,
has been playing
it's up
really
in the
good.
air. But then to finish the season, Cincinnati, Miami, and Buffalo, three games in a row, and they could lose all 3 of those games pretty simply. So, yeah, I don't think they're making it. I got Los Angeles, to be honest.
Who I got in those wild card spots is I got Buffalo. I think Buffalo, Kansas City, and I think Cincinnati's
Bengals
going to
are
win.
gonna
Yeah,
win.
Cincinnati. The Ravens haven't looked that great. I think those are going to be division winners. I think the Titans will win the division, so they'll make the playoffs. They're definitely going to win the division unless the Jaguars go crazy.
At 6, I'm gonna say Miami,
Yeah,
and it's not 5 Miami, 6 Baltimore, 7. Actually, no. The Chargers could low-key sneak up to like 6.
I think
The Ravens might drop
I
to 7.
I think the teams that make the wild card will be the Ravens, Dolphins, Chargers, and I don't know. I can go either way for the Jets or Patriots.
Well, that's 3. You said Ravens.
Oh. Yeah, Ravens, Dolphins, Chargers, anywhere.
But yeah, I feel like these playoffs are going to be really, really interesting. You got the NFC side. You got
That's
the
what
Niners,
I don't really. Besides like
Dallas,
the
and
Eagles,
Philly.
I don't think anyone's like legit.
I mean, I think the Niners are pretty legit.
They're
I
legit.
think
The thing is, they
Baker-
have. I mean, if Brock Purdy steps
I mean,
up,
they
and
just
goes crazy,
dismantled Tampa Bay.
It's not really hard to do that this year,
But
though.
still, that was pretty 35-7.
Baker Mayfield.
Pretty best defense in the NFL.
We'll see against on Monday night.
He's gonna turn our year around.
Yeah,
That's
but
kinda
Our year, okay.
yeah, you got the Eagles, the Cowboys, who look suspect, but I don't know, they're like on and off.
The Vikings.
Vikings,
The
I don't
Vikings
think.
aren't really legit. They're not.
They're just like there, and then you got
They won
pretty
like
big
8
drop-off.
games by 1 possession. They lost to the Lions. They should have lost the Lions twice. They somehow came back in the first game. They haven't looked legit at all. They got smoked by Dallas at home.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, I think San Fran makes that out of the NFC.
I could see them definitely.
I think it's San Fran or Philly.
I just really think whoever makes it out of the AFC is going to win it, unless it's like some underdog like
Yeah.
the
But
Chargers.
yeah, I
They don't
say
lose
like,
the game.
to be honest, the Bengals are playing like the best team in the NFL right now. They were really hot. They beat Kansas City, and everybody's saying like the Bills or the Chiefs or the Dolphins, but the Bengals, they can make a run to the Super Bowl again, and I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
I can see them winning this time.
Yeah.
Are we going to switch over to MLB free agency? Do you want to get started, Lucas?
Absolutely. On our last episode, I'm not really sure if we touched up on this much, but a lot has happened recently. We'll start off with DeGrom signing with the Rangers for $185 million for 5 years. I think that DeGrom deal, I think it comes down to one factor, and that's DeGrom on the Mets is not, when he's on the Mets, he's a Met. And unfortunately, Mets get injured. The good Mets get injured. And so I feel as if now, since he's on the Rangers, we're going to see a lot more DeGrom this year than we saw last year or years prior with the Mets. And he's going to be more dominant than ever, especially in the division he's playing in.
The only thing, as a Mets fan, I'm like, yeah, you got more money. I mean, no, I heard that the Mets offered like a similar contract. It was just less years. So I guess he wants that security, but still, like, you don't want to win or attempt to win a World Series. And I don't think the Rangers are really fit for that. He said they have a winning, that they're building a culture. But no, they're not. Like, maybe in a couple years, but you're going to be down the road nearing the end of your contract by the time that they're a contender. So I'm like,
I mean, I think that I
pitching
think
staff is amazing.
I think their pitching staff
in like
is-
4 years.
Well, you have Kumar Rocker and Jack Leiter in the farm system. They have an insanely strong farm system. I think Sam Huff's down there too, catcher. I definitely see them. They have Semi and Seager, and obviously, they didn't play up to what they were supposed to last year. But I feel like if they do play up to what they're supposed to, they're definitely easily a contender. Going into last year, we thought they were contenders. They weren't. But this year, I definitely think with the addition of DeGrom, that upgrades that pitching staff. With DeGrom, not only do you get a great pitcher, but you also get a guy who helps out other guys around the clubhouse and, can really, give his experience to other players.
All this for third in the division. Astros.
What?
All this for third in the division.
What,
Astros? Rangers.
What is it?
Rangers coming third.
A's, Astros,
Mariners.
Mariners. Rangers and Mariners should be interesting. Mariners traded away Jesse Winker for Colton Wong, so I don't know. Let's see, another one. This is a kind of quick one. Kershaw, $20 million for 1 year. obviously, if you're Clayton Kershaw, you want to finish off your career with the team you've always been with. Clayton Kershaw, for me at least, top 5 pitcher all time. I think the stats back it up. MVP, gazillion time All-Star, gazillion time Cy Young Award winner. I mean, he's done it all. He's won a World Series. I give it to him. Verlander. Now this is the big deal. Other than the Trey Turner deal, this was massive. So the Mets signed Justin Verlander after losing Jacob deGrom. I think Verlander is definitely a safer option than deGrom, just because deGrom gets injured too much. And Verlander, obviously he's old, but he's been playing phenomenally for somebody who's 40 years old now. I think that was a very smart signing for the Mets. And I mean, they lost Bassett. Did they sign anybody else?
Senga.
We don't know how he's going to do.
Quintana.
Oh yeah, from the Cardinals. He's a solid pitcher. I don't know if it was the Yachty effect last year, but he's pitching phenomenally. And I mean, obviously the Phillies just signed Trey Turner. That's a huge deal. I definitely think, and you look at their lineup, he brings their lineup to another level. They don't have a lot of speed in that lineup. And you bring in Trey Turner as a factor there. Then you get Trey Turner on base for the big bats. I mean, Schwarber's leading the league in home runs, and then you got Harper, who's an MVP caliber player almost every year when he's healthy. I mean, I think he got honestly a top 2 team right there. If they can all stay healthy, you got a great team.
They got Walker, Taijuan Walker.
Taijuan Walker.
Be prepared for his second half fall off, Phillies fans. That's all I'm saying.
Are you sure?
Every year.
It's a Mets. That's a Mets thing, though, isn't it?
Not the Taijuan Walker thing.
I think it's a Mets.
I think it's a Mets thing. Honestly, I think the Mets are just kind of cursed. Like, no offense, Vito Tropiano, but the Mets are just kind of, it's unfortunate. Every single year in the playoffs, they just, they fall apart before the playoffs. Obviously, Cardinals eliminating them.
I don't know, but I stand by the statements being said.
Let's see. Andrew Heaney signs with the Rangers. Rangers are a competitive team. Andrew Heaney,
He's
in the
dookie.
shadow.
I don't care.
Andrew Heaney?
I hate him.
Andrew Heaney
I
was
hate him.
in the shadow. Didn't you pitch for the Dodgers last year?
Yes.
Yeah, in the shadow of the Dodgers arms last year, he pitched phenomenally. And he was in the shadow of, obviously, Clayton Kershaw and Julio Urias. But when you get Andrew Heaney on a team like the Rangers, he could be your 1 or 2 guy on any other team other than the Dodgers. Bellinger signed with the Cubs. I mean, come on, Cody Bellinger, kind of irrelevant now. Hasn't played well.
TJ Lasco. Okay.
TJ Lasco, let's talk about this.
Tommy says that echoes on the thing, and it says, "How you guys doing, buds? Sorry, I can't be there."
You were definitely doing homework right now, but you shouldn't be on here. You should be doing your homework. Stop procrastinating.
No, he said his parents are sick.
You could have worn a mask, but we would have accepted
You
you.
didn't say who it is.
Thomas Schwegler.
Thomas Schwegler.
Hello.
I have a question.
Schwegler.
What do we have?
What's up, T-Schweg?
What is the question?
What is the question?
No, I didn't say that.
Tom, you have any questions?
You got any questions?
He said Yankees with a greater emoji.
I mean, he's not wrong. I mean, this is a rare good take by Thomas Schwegler. He doesn't get many of them.
Get a look at this guy.
I can't wait to argue this.
How do you feel about Wilson Contreras?
So, no. I like to expand on Logan's, Thomas's statement here. Obviously, all right. I've just pulled it up and now actually conveniently popped up on my screen. $360 million for Aaron Judge. You tell me, right?
For 9 years.
Do you really think Aaron Judge is going to hit 50-plus home runs a year for how long is this? 9 years?
No, I mean,
9 years?
it's the length he wanted. We couldn't give him less years. I mean,
You paid him $123 million more.
you gotta do what you gotta do
for
for
2 more
MVP.
years.
You
Meaning
gotta
paid
do
him
what you gotta
$60
do.
million per
You
year.
gotta do what you gotta do for
29
an
and
MVP.
6'6". And he's
6'7".
gonna fall off, buddy. 6'7". He's
All right,
falling off,
buddy.
buddy.
All right.
He's gonna be 6'5",
All right, just like the
comparing
Mets in the second half.
his-
All right, okay.
his posture.
You guys fall worse than us.
His posture is going to
Yeah.
deteriorate from carrying your
Yeah,
franchise.
3 times 9, bud.
All right, let's
Three
look
times
at
nine.
Let's look at what do we got?
3 times 9.
Yeah, what's up, Tom? It's probably
What is it?
What's it say that?
This is Tyler's the best player in. Yeah.
When he said that.
Who said that?
Warrior gamer.
Oh, let's talk about this.
He's so right. Though.
Welcome back.
Why
to
is he
Short.
right?
Let's pull up the BBL stats right here while we're here.
I don't want to see.
All right, here we
this.
go.
This
Let's
is
talk this man's playoff stats, right?
Hey, I was playing with a torn labrum.
I don't care.
Nobody cares, Logan. Frankly, nobody cares.
Hey, you're just mad because you both didn't
Frankly,
play in the playoffs.
you're not good.
I'm mad because we didn't play.
Listen, bro.
Aaron Judge will be good for the next 4 to 5 years.
With the BBL.
Can I call into the pod? Yes,
Call me. Call.
Yeah,
Call me,
Call
Short.
into the pod.
Call me.
Tom, we're on a short leash here. You say anything dumb,
You
you're off.
paid the money because of what he did for the franchise. Aaron Judge will be good in the next 4 to 5 years.
Who's that?
For the Tom _ T _ Giants fan.
Oh,
No, he's calling me.
Hi, Tom.
Talk. Ask
Tom.
a question.
Tom,
We have a caller.
We have a caller calling into the show.
Okay, so I heard you guys talking about the Aaron Judge deal. I just wanted to say that the Yankees didn't sign Aaron Judge thinking he's going to hit 62 homers for the next night. They paid him for 9 years because that's what they had to do for him to sign and continue being with this great New York Yankees franchise.
I agree with that.
Tom, you good there? It
He
sounds
wanted
like you got a
9
little
years. Obviously,
excited there.
He won 9 years. He's not going to be good in 9 years, but you got to offer an MVP what he wants.
Tom, I hate to break it to you, but you sound like one of those guys on the Michael K show calling in from Staten Island to tell him about how much you love the New York Yankees and how many World Series they won.
Yo, Thomas, tell him what 9 times 3 equals.
9 times 3.
Yeah, it's going to take a while. Just hang on. It's going to take a little while.
No.
27.
Is that
Yeah.
Are you sure of that?
Can you name me each year that they were won?
I don't have to.
Have they won?
Yes, you do.
Tom, do you remember the last time they
Wait,
won?
Thomas, name which one you were alive for. 2009.
Against who, Thomas?
Regardless.
No, don't skip the question. Who is it against?
Okay.
All right, so he doesn't know. Uneducated Yankees fan. On to the next.
I know we beat the Phillies. Okay,
Good for you.
2009.
Good for you. Congrats.
I watched
Thomas,
that in my
who is your
diapers.
take on the best player in the BBL that is not Jeremy?
Best player. Well, other than that, he used to be former Georgetown guard.
He's retired though, so
Completely
let's
agree.
go with that.
So I
Completely.
think it has to go to a man who just took over games, and I would have to say that it is Brian Hennessy.
Loudest typer of all time. My God.
Okay. Who's the best passer?
Best passer. Probably Lucas Meyer actually has
Yeah.
really nice passes.
I don't know if the stats
You know
support
what
that,
Nick
but
Fisher is?
just look at the clips.
Yeah, Nick Fisher's great. No.
Thoughts on
Nick
thoughts
Fisher
on
assists
the
the game.
thoughts on the decrease in ACLs in the league.
Yeah, I mean,
Wait, Nick,
it's a rough season. It's a long season. Especially for the BBL, it's like 3 years. But
I feel bad for Nick.
And meniscus.
He was like, oh my God,
hopefully
how
Nick
did
gets
he?
better soon. And I hope this doesn't affect the rest of his life.
Do you think the Slim Jim will come in clutch?
Oh yes.
Who's the slim?
Remember the person who gave him the Slim Jim on the ground?
Oh yeah.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, Tom, for joining us on the.
One more thing I need to say before I leave.
He has one final thing to say.
Trade Connor Falefa and let the kids play.
I feel like he's a good bench back, but so yeah.
Thank you, Tom, for joining in on this baseball segment. I disagree with many things he said, other than the fact that I'm the best passer in the BBL, and then also the fact that like Dustin McGuinness is the best former player in the BBL. And then on top of that, I mean,
Sorry, but Dustin
nobody's-
McGuinness is just not a Hall of Famer.
The Yankees are trying to trade like Aaron Hicks and stuff. Nobody's taking Aaron Hicks. Nobody's taking IKF. They both suck. They both are potatoes and fossils. They're not going to play. Frankly,
Can't disagree.
you disagree.
I said I can't.
Oh, you can't disagree. Yeah, I mean, I went to one New York game, and the Yankees fans behind me complained so much about Aaron Hicks, even when the ball wasn't hit to him, for lack of hustle. So, I mean, Aaron Hicks can't win in New York.
I mean,
Unfortunately.
he's out of his days.
Out of his days.
He's out of his days.
Let's see. What are some other crazy? Wilson Contreras. I'm happy about that. That's awesome. Let's see.
Anything else?
Xander Bogaerts. Let's talk about the Red
Yeah,
Sox
yeah.
real quick. Elias Vizcarello.
They got Yoeli Rodriguez, right? Congrats to them. Nice little lefty pitcher.
I don't even know who that is. To be honest
I
with
think
you.
that's what it is. Yoeli Rodriguez.
Oh wait,
Yankees
Joely
pitcher.
Rodriguez. Yeah, I know who that is.
I could care less.
What's wrong? What about
He
Miguel?
can go finish.
Nice little trade for the Mets and Yankees.
They can
Miguel
make
Castro
him,
for Yoeli Rodriguez.
Whatever.
They're not even on the team anymore.
All right, let's go to NCAA basketball to finish it off.
Yeah, why not?
We can talk about we'll talk about Rutgers. All right. I'm not gonna go over the Ohio State game because we obviously won that.
It was obvious.
Usually Pikel's a guy who takes risks. I'm surprised he fouled. There's about like 9 seconds left.
That was like 6 seconds left.
Yeah, and we fouled, and then Caleb didn't miss a free throw till that shot. So I mean, can't be mad at him. He was like 10 for 10. He's not really a shooter.
What a guy.
Yeah, I remember the exact place in the rule book. It is Rule 9, Section 3, Article 1.
That's great.
But we got to get over it. The committee won't look at it that much when they're looking back at us. I mean, net rankings moved Ohio State down from that win and had us over Ohio State before we lost to Seton Hall. Jumping into the Seton Hall game, we did not have anyone in double digits. And our highest score was Andre Hyatt, who ended up missing a wide open layup to tie the game. The defense looked great. I mean, Rutgers hasn't given up 70 points at the rack since Lehigh last year, which we won. We got the third best metrics defensively in college basketball. Played amazing defense all night.
But our offense is garbage.
Yeah, Cliff has to get a little bit smarter. I mean, he's still developing as a player, but there's the point where it's not just all athleticism. He's gotta develop some technique.
Yeah.
He's not catching the ball. Paul, he had 7 assists, but he had some passes that shouldn't have been passes, especially because Cliff can't catch the ball right now. Caleb had 5 turnovers.
We had 20 turnovers as a team.
I think it was 19 or 20.
19 to 20.
Yeah. Cam Spencer couldn't hit a 3. But I mean, I won't blame him. He was 0 for 4 from 3. All of his threes rimmed out. At least one of them should have went in, I feel like. The rest kind of screwed us on that last call, but we didn't even deserve to win. I mean, you're dropping 43 points in a game. It's terrible. Cliff is getting in foul trouble every game now.
Great job, Cliff. Great
He's
job.
getting 2 fouls in the first 10 minutes.
Frustration fouls. He
Mhm.
can't get anything going offensively, and then you just commit a stupid foul like that block.
Yeah, he got doubled in the paint, and he's
just making bad decisions. He got a lot of our players have really bad hands. Andre has bad hands. Mawat has bad hands, and Cliff has bad hands.
Mawat has been playing good though.
Yeah,
that's the one player I've been really impressed with. So, the past 3 games.
But I feel like Andre should have played more. I feel like Simpson should have played more. Simpson is he can provide you a spark on offense, and we just didn't have. We don't have any
That's what he did
players.
against Indiana. It was a low-scoring game. He came in, he took over for 2 minutes, scored 10 points.
Yeah, we don't have any true playmakers on offense like a Geo Baker.
Oh, wait, I mean,
Paul, just
you mean
person that can
shots,
just score or just create something off the dribble. Paul, he's taking some
weird fadeaways. Like that one fadeaway again, that was not.
He just
a
gets
shot.
the back. He gets to his back to the rim. We have too many back to the basket players. Andre's a back to the basket player. Paul, Mawat, Cliff.
Cliff has to
be size up somebody.
Cliff, he does his damage when he's under the basket. When he's under the basket, you can't stop him. He's already dunked on you. But when he gets the ball in the post, he's getting doubled. Someone's open every time. If he develops his passing, because he passes a lot with one hand right now because he's huge and he has huge hands. They're turnovers almost every time.
Yeah.
But especially our team could shoot pretty decently. I mean, Andre's been hitting his threes. Cam is a good 3-point shooter when he's on. Paul can even hit some threes. And Caleb was shooting well over 40% for most of this year when he was playing. So pretty good 3-point shooting team. If Cliff can develop his passing, we could be dangerous.
This team could be really dangerous in 2 to 3 years. You look at the recruits that Pikel's targeting.
We just landed Jamichael Davis
from McEachern High School.
From,
That's where Sharif
yeah.
Cooper went.
He's not ranked, but he didn't have a 24/7 account. He just made one. Won't be surprised if he gets ranked very soon. And that's also going to help the push for Ace Bailey, 5-star from his school, best friends. They went on visits together. It sounds like it's between Auburn and Rutgers. Jamichael also getting offered from Auburn. I don't know if they're a package deal. Hopefully they are. That also goes to other recruiting like Dylan Harper, who's went to the Seton Hall game and the Indiana game. Race between Indiana and Duke and us. I think the Indiana game, I don't think it took out Indiana, but it gave us a huge edge because, I mean, when you hear who's your daddy 50 times and Dylan Harper chants, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's hard to not commit there.
Yeah. I'm gonna go to like new rankings. Purdue's
go to
number
Formula
one.
One.
Purdue's number one.
Purdue's number one, and
And
their
they
next
almost lost to Nebraska.
their next good opponent is us. They play
Imagine
3 non-conference teams, and they play us.
they
And Derek Simpson's about to hit the Ron Harper Jr. shot in
they
Mac.
should be worried. Yeah, I mean Purdue. I really don't know how they're. To be honest, they should not.
To be honest, they're
They
not
almost
another
lost to
Nebraska
Nebraska.
team. They went to overtime with Nebraska.
And they should have lost.
Larry Scirotto, the ref who messed up the Ohio State game, also messed up in that game pretty badly at the end. But yeah,
I think UConn should have been number one. To be honest,
UConn is dangerous, especially
They're
with Donovan
amazing.
Clingan. He's like an actual skilled 7-footer.
Zach Edey.
No disrespect to Zach Edey, but Cliff is his father.
We got Houston losing to Alabama. Alabama knocked off 2 number one so far. So
Alabama's been pretty good, except Alabama did lose to UConn, which I feel like why UConn should be number one.
Yeah.
I was surprised when Purdue was number one.
Yeah, a lot of mix up in the top 10 from the first poll of the season to now. Gonzaga fell off. North Carolina.
We have Texas coach getting
Dude.
arrested,
Yeah.
and they went to overtime with Rice. So that's interesting, very interesting over there.
Creighton lost 4 games in a row.
5
games in a row.
They have their star center out, but I mean,
It's still 5 games in a row.
you got to be winning games. I mean, you can't be losing 5 games in a row. A lot of people picked you to the Final Four this year. So
Yeah, Texas been pretty impressive. Other than that overtime game,
yeah, I mean,
they should have won that game. To be honest with you, who saw
They-
that? Marcus Carson.
Which game?
The one that they lost in overtime. They lost to Maryland
It was the Mountain. They didn't play Mountain.
or Illinois. I'm tripping. Illinois.
Oh,
They lost in
yeah.
overtime to Illinois.
Yeah, they really choked that game. It reminded me of watching Rutgers versus Miami. Oh, by the way, Rutgers is like a few possessions from being 9-1.
I still think Houston is my national champion pick. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I do think that their defense is just outstanding. Like
Marcus
Tennessee.
Allen is nice.
Actually, I want to talk about Tennessee. Maryland, an amazing young offensive team. They were held to 17 points at half by Tennessee. Tennessee has the best metrics defensively, and it isn't really close right now. They're crazy good.
And I get
They're one of my Final Four teams.
I get that Indiana was missing their 5-star Jalen Hood-Schifino, but they are so overrated. They should have never been in the
Yeah.
top 10 to begin with.
They're pretty overrated.
And I mean, I'm not. If I see Indiana ranked, I'm just not worried to play them.
Yeah, like if you
That's
saw what
all
happened at the rack, 15-point win. We held them to 48. Lucas accidentally put his volume on. What do you call it? Without JHS, like Gio said on one of his on a podcast, they're pretty much like last year's Indiana, and no one is scared of last year's Indiana.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not scared of Indiana, but
You want to make Final Four picks?
all
Because
right.
why not?
This is kind of early, but I'll say Houston, UConn. Let's see. Houston, UConn, Arkansas,
Arkansas is good.
and like I don't know. I can't think of 4 right now. That's
I'm
three.
going Houston, Tennessee, Alabama. I want to throw a random team in there because there's
I was gonna say like
there's
Virginia
always
Tech or something.
I was looking at Virginia Tech right now. I'm not. I don't want to say anyone from the Big Ten because we kind of disappoint every year. I was gonna say like Wisconsin, but I want to throw someone like I don't want to say Arkansas because they lost someone.
You could throw like a Michigan State maybe.
Maybe I could see Miami going back to the Elite Eight, but I don't see them going to the Final Four. UNC is coming from the 7th seed this time, and they are going to the Final Four.
I never understood the UNC hype, to be honest. Because
They're still there. I mean, they have a triple
they were good.
overtime.
They had a lot of injuries.
They have
but
a triple overtime loss to Alabama, which obviously is an amazing
Yeah.
team. They lost the game without Armando Bacot, which is understandable. I mean, I forget who it was against, but if you're losing without your best player, I mean, I'm not gonna take it that as much. Like something that bothered me is I think Iowa dropped 16 in net rankings after they beat Iowa State, number 20 Iowa State at home by 21 without their best player, who's probably going to be all Big Ten first team. And then they lost to Wisconsin at home but they also didn't have Chris Murray that game, and Chris Murray is their main offense. I mean, Iowa's a very offensive team, and when your best scorer is out, you're going to lose games, especially in the Big Ten. So I don't think they deserve to fall that far.
All right. Well, that was our live stream for today. Thank you for joining Table Talk Sports. This is December 13th. Christmas is coming up.
Wish me luck on my midterms.
Yeah, wish Tyler luck on his finals.
Yeah,
Hope you all have
Paul Thomas.
subscribe to
Subscribe.
Table Talk Sports. And then, hope you all have a great holidays.
Christmas theme song.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock.
Jingle bell, jingle bell. Ding, 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 jingle bell. Ding, 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 jingle bell.
Was it done?
Yep.
Welcome to Table.